What is up? So today, quickly, I wanted to make a list of my top quarterbacks in this year's draft class. The NFL draft is tomorrow night. I didn't get to make the Joe Burrow video, which I wanted to. I feel like I would have been rehashing what everyone else is saying about Joe Burrow. He's an excellent player, sees the field well, great decision making. It's hard to pick a flaw in him because he had the best season in college football. So I was just decided, I'm just not going to make a video. It's pretty self-explanatory. Anybody, even who doesn't have football knowledge, you go on the tape and just watch Joe Burrow. You can see that he is a first round top 5, the number 1 pick in this year's draft. With that being said, I'm only going to list the 7 quarterbacks that I've talked about. I'm not going to list, Steve Montez, Shea Patterson, Brian Lewerke, Nate Stanley, all those other guys. I did not watch enough film on these guys, so I do not have I do not feel qualified enough to make a prediction about them. So I'm going to leave them off the list. So we'll just have the 7 quarterbacks on here. The list is probably going to be very surprising, specifically with one certain quarterback, especially with watching the film. Recently, rewatching it over and over and over again, this certain quarterback is very low on my list. And yeah, I'll get more to that. So we'll start with the top. I said 7 quarterbacks. Number 7, Jalen Hurt, quarterback from Oklahoma, 2-year starter at the University of Alabama, then transferred to Oklahoma for his senior year where he played. Statistically, he was great at Oklahoma, but at the 2 years at Alabama, people seem to forget about that. He really struggled against SEC defenses to read the field, processing, throwing with anticipation. He struggled with that. There's times where guys were open. It just didn't click in his mind fast enough that the guy was open. He was late. He's not a very accurate quarterback. He's got a good arm. Good enough in terms of throwing. Arm strength, good enough. Arm strength, very athletic, mobile, can run. He's kind of like Derrick Henry when he runs. He can run over people, very strong. I still think he's going to be, even though he's my 7th ranked quarterback on this, I still think he's going to get taken higher because of his leadership, his intangibles. People are just going to fall in love with his story. So he's going to get overdrafted, in my opinion. I think he's probably going to be taken in late in the 2nd round, but we'll see. Number 6, I got Jake Fromm, the quarterback from Georgia, 3-year starter. Came on the scene as a freshman, led Georgia to the national championship game where they lost. If you asked me 6 months or before, let's say a year ago, where Jake Fromm would be taken in the draft at the end of his junior year, I would have said, late 1st rounder for sure. He's a good quarterback, can make all the throws, not the strongest arm, but very smart. Shows up in the big games, just, excellent job. But his junior year was very just up and down. It started off well, but then it just kind of went downhill. He struggled a lot. Started struggling with completing the passes. Percentages statistically went down. He doesn't have the biggest arm, as I said. His hand size was a little concerning because it's actually pretty small for a quarterback, but I'm not really that worried about that. He's a very smart guy, very great leader. He's not the most mobile guy, but he is definitely could be easily a great backup in the NFL. If he was drafted by the Chicago Bears right now, I think he would do a better job than Mitchell Trubisky. That's just my opinion, but I'm already higher on him than I am with Mitchell Trubisky. But yeah, he'd be a great guy, great leader. Can definitely help a franchise. Definitely can manage a team. If you have a great defense and you need a game manager, Jake Fromm is your guy. And that being said, quickly, I want to say Jake Fromm was very shackled at Georgia's offensive scheme that they ran. If he was with, say, what Joe Burrow ran at LSU, he would have been a totally different prospect. So that's one more aspect to look at this. So number 5, this is the big wild card, the big WTF from most people, or people are going to be like, whoa. Number 5, I have Justin Herbert, the quarterback from Oregon. 6'6", got a big rocket arm, very mobile, can run, take off like a track sprinter, I've said. Has all the physical tools you want in a franchise quarterback. As I said, big, mobile, can see the field. And yeah, he can make a good throw here and there, but that's where all the good things ends. He lacks anticipation. He doesn't see the field quick enough. In some of the cleanest pockets, I've said this before, he lacks touch, poise, and accuracy. He just, even when there's no rush in his face, it's like he feels an invisible rush and messes up. Pressure's in his face, he struggles. I mean, I just rewatched his film over and over, and I'm just telling you guys, this guy is not a first-round quarterback. He is going to be taken in the first round, but he is not a first-round quarterback. If the Miami Dolphins take him, they're going to be selling for, at the most, mediocrity for the next 10 years. Sure, he may be healthy for the next 10 years, but you're not going to win a Super Bowl with him. You know, if I'm wrong, though, I'll suck up and say I'm wrong, but that's just what I'm watching on the film. He doesn't have the leadership skills I would want in a quarterback. First of all, he seems like a quiet, introverted guy, as people have been saying in interviews and stuff. You know, that's cool. I'm cool with the nice guy, you know, but I want a guy who's going to rally the troops, who's going to get guys fired up, you know. Like Jalen Hurts, you'll see him being a leader, yelling, getting the guys, you know, riled up. Tua, Joe Burrow, you see Joe Burrow and like him waving at the Texas fans during that game. That's what I want in my leader. Justin Herbert is not that. And you just can't force someone to be like that, you know. And that's just like a small thing. As I said, mechanics suck. His anticipation sucks. He's just, even in his system, people say, oh, it's the system that Oregon ran. No, I believe the system they ran was to hide Justin Herbert's weaknesses. They ran that system because that's what Justin Herbert could run the best. And that's what was the most comfortable for Justin Herbert to run. That's the reason why probably this system was so crappy. But I don't think you're going to get anything out of Justin Herbert. He is just a physical freak when you look at him, but other than that, he's nothing special. If he was 5'11" and did the exact same things he was doing right now, he'd be a 7th rounder to a free agent. But yeah, number 4 on my list is Jacob Eason, the quarterback from the University of Washington. He's got a big rocket arm, can make all the throws. If you looked on him, you just watch all his games, just on the first half in all these games at Washington, he looked like the first rounder, you know, first or second top. He looked like he would be up there with Tua and Joe Burrow. That's how good he was in the first half. But it was in the second half of all these big games that he just fell apart, made poor decisions, and, you know, struggled at times. Just quickly, I want to compare him to Justin Herbert. One thing I'd say that Jacob Eason has over Justin Herbert, he has a lot of things that's better than Justin Herbert. But one thing, Justin Herbert, if you go watch the film, he drives the ball a lot. He doesn't know how to put any touch on the ball. Jacob Eason knows how to put touch on the ball. Like, there's a defender in the way. Jacob Eason knows how to throw it over the defender, to put touch to get it over the defender. While Justin Herbert's going to throw a rocket, and, you know, it may go over the defender or it just may flat out hit the defender. He doesn't know how to put that touch on the ball like Jacob Eason does. But that being said, Jacob Eason sees the field really well. Rocket arm. I do think he has underrated mobility. He's not like a fast guy, but he can move and shuffle around in the pocket, which I think is going to fly under the radar. Whatever team lands him, I think he's not a day one starter. He just needs to sit and learn, but I think he has potential to be a franchise quarterback. Number 3 on the list, Jordan Love. Love this guy's potential. He has the highest ceiling of anyone in this draft. The Patrick Mahomes comparisons are pretty valid. Can make all these crazy sidearm throws off platform. He's not a day one starter for sure. If he needs to go to the right team, like the way Patrick Mahomes went to with Andy Reid, if he goes to a team that is not a good team, that's you're not sure about, it's going to be poor for him. Say best situation for him is for him to go to the Colts. I think the Saints is the perfect for him. I think my gut feeling is telling me that the Saints will draft Jordan Love, but we'll see. But he needs to go to a good franchise with a great offensive head coach where he can sit and learn and develop, and I think he'll take the NFL by storm the way Patrick Mahomes did. Though I do say he needs to get off his first read a lot better than he did in college, but he has the potential. That's what I'm drafting him for, is the potential. All right, and so number 2, number 1, it's very neck and neck, very close, but it's probably still going to surprise a lot of people. But number 2, I have Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had the best season in college football history, with LSU leading them to the national championship. 60 touchdowns record right there itself. Big moments, showed up every single game, never stuttered, no moment was too big for him. He is mentally probably the toughest player in this draft. Very smart football IQ, He can dissect a defense, pre-snap, everything. You can't fool him. Even Clemson, they couldn't fool him. They were able to fool Tua the year before and a couple of times with 2 interceptions, but they were not able to fool Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow rocked their world, and I still think he's going to be the number 1 pick to Cincinnati. They're going to get a franchise quarterback. Definitely an upgrade with Andy Dalton. I just think it's a no-brainer for them. The kid from Ohio going back to Ohio. It's an outstanding season. He doesn't have the greatest arm in the world. It's not the biggest, but I don't really care for that because you're not going to throw the ball 80 yards down the field every single play. So what's there to worry about? He's got nice touch, poise, and accuracy. Accuracy is very key, and throws with anticipation in a tight windows. Yeah, he had great wide receivers around him, but like that's what he made those wide receivers who they are today. You didn't know about Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Terrence Marshall, Thaddeus Moss, all these guys a year ago. You only knew about these guys this year because of Joe Burrow. And people are like, the last season, oh my goodness, he was the system made him good this year. What happened last year? You know what happened last year? He got better. He went and worked his ass off and got better the next season. That's what happened. That's what I love about Joe Burrow. That's what he's going to bring to the NFL. I think this guy's going to win a Super Bowl one day. I may be wrong, but I think he will. And number 1, you have Tua Tagovailoa. It's not like a gap between him and Joe Burrow. It's neck and neck. The reason why I'm number 1 with Tua Tagovailoa. I'm not paying attention to his injury. That's the reason why I'm not taking it into consideration with this. Without the injury, it's without a question that Tua Tagovailoa is the number 1 pick, the number 1 quarterback in this draft class. This dude is special. He's the best pure passer I've seen in a decade. Like I said, if he was 3 or 4 inches taller, he'd probably be the perfect prospect. Like those perfect quarterback prospects, 6 Andrew Luck. He can see the field, throws with anticipation. His accuracy is unworldly. Just the way you see like Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, the way the ball lands in the wide receiver's hands. That's what Tua is going to bring to the next level. People say he had all this worldly talent around him. Yeah. Alabama always has that. Every single quarterback that's been with Nick Saban has had that talent. Tua is the first one to take advantage of that talent. I'm just going to mention Jalen Hurts had every single guy that Tua Tagovailoa had, that it's going to be a first rounder this year, and Jalen Hurts going to take advantage of that. He had even 5-star Robert Foster, who was super talented. He's with the Bills right now, but because Jalen Hurts was the quarterback, that kid cannot show his potential out there on the field. Imagine if Tua Tagovailoa was out there throwing to that guy. That guy probably would have been a mid-round draft pick. But if Tua was there starting, it would have been a totally different story. Tua Tagovailoa, by far, he is the most talented passer I've seen in a long, long time. The way the ball flies from his hand, the tight spiral, it's just, he can see the defense really well. He's very good at looking off the safeties, moving defenders with his eyes. One thing he's got to say is his elusiveness. He sometimes thinks he's a little too elusive than what he actually is. Maybe he could slim down a little bit in his lower body to make himself more elusive, but I don't think he should. People say he's made out of glass. That is fake news. He is not made out of glass. This kid's taken so many hits in college. He'll talk about how he has got the best offensive line in the world. Yeah, he's got a great offensive line, but where he takes hits and does all his stuff is when he extends plays. And that's the thing he's going to have to fix when he goes to the NFL. Learn to protect himself and slide and get down like Aaron Rodgers, like Russell Wilson. Deshaun Watson's gotten better at it, like Patrick Mahomes. He's got to learn how to protect himself so he doesn't provide damage to his body. And one thing, he is going to be way more protected in the NFL than he is in college football. People are like, oh, you can't make it in the NFL. If you get injured in college, injured in the NFL. If you go back and watch the play that he dislocated his hip, that play in the NFL, that's a flag. I remember watching Clay Matthews take down Kirk Cousins twice. Was it last season or the season before? And they both drew a penalty, and in my opinion, it was a clean hit. Clay Matthews comes and lands on his body, and that's a penalty in NFL. Tua Tagovailoa, the play dislocates his hip. 2 big guys on Mississippi State come and land down on top of him, harder than what Clay Matthews had, and that did not draw a flag at all. And that obviously dislocated his hip. In the NFL, that's going to be a flag. Those defenders, first of all, are going to know beforehand. I can't go hit a quarterback like that. I've got to lean in with my right shoulder, my left shoulder. Yeah, I can put the weight from my right shoulder, but I cannot come down landing on the quarterback. In that situation, Tua is not going to get injured in the NFL like that. First of all, he's going to be more protected. NFL defenders are going to know that, so they know they can't land on this quarterback this certain way. And Tua, first of all, is going to know the coaches, whatever team he goes to, is going to tell him you cannot extend the play this certain way. You got to know when to give up on the play. That being said, that's my list. I know it's a lot of controversy with, putting Tua ahead of Joe Burrow. I get it. That's just me. I know it's not a very popular position, but I said these two guys are neck and neck. It's 1-2. You could put them either way. 2 weeks from now, I would feel like, oh man, I should put Joe Burrow at number 1. 2 weeks ago, my bad, not 2 weeks later, 2 weeks ago. But there's a huge gap. It's Joe Burrow and Tua, and then there's this huge freaking gap. It's a huge gap. This draft class is not very strong as compared to the draft class that had Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson. That it's not as strong as that class because honestly, the two for sure franchise quarterbacks are Tua and Joe Burrow. That's it. And then there's this huge gap. And for those of you, like I said, with Justin Herbert, I hope you know what you're doing. If you're the GM, if you're Miami, if this is all smokescreen, for y'all, hey, that's y'all brilliantly done it. But I hope every GM knows what they're doing. I hope everyone enjoys tomorrow. But yeah, you guys let me know what your thoughts are down below about the quarterbacks, who you think is the best, who's the worst, whatnot. Make sure to give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, make sure to ring the bell for notifications so you're notified when I post a video, and make sure to follow me on Instagram, links down below, and I'll see you in another video soon.